Hello and welcome to the season premiere of season two's I Don't Normally Watch That. Here on JLJ Media, I'm your host, James Lott Jr. Glad to be back. And what we're going to talk about today is a movie that was on Netflix called Single All the Way. And it's a type of movie I would just never really watch, but I was intrigued, and I will tell you why. Of course, why I was intrigued. But I watched it, and I have some feelings about it, of course, but but it's something I wouldn't really watch. It's Christmas time, folks. And with Christmas time comes this slew onslaught of Christmas films. Hallmark is famous for them, of course, but Lifetime has them. GAC Family now has them, and there's a lot of other places that are starting to pop up with their own Christmas movies. BET and all that they're starting doing more and more, right? It's billion dollar industry. People love Christmas films. They love the spirit of Christmas. I do Christmas drama, audio dramas. If you like audio dramas, I have Mistletoe Road, I have Claus the series, Peppermint Winters, The Kringles, House of Fry. I have my own audio dramas and audio comedies. Are set at the North Pole or the South Pole at Christmas. So Christmas is a big deal. I have Christmas songs, so you get the idea. So this one was called Single All the Way. It came out this year, and it's the first gay Christmas film. And when I read the bio about it, the big hook was that first the first for Netflix, but secondly that it is just matter of fact that all the characters are gay. There's no real coming out story. There's nothing like everybody's upset about it. Like everybody accepts it. Kind of a magical world, right? But it's all there. It's already done. Also, it's interracial, which I thought was interesting too. And I said, okay, I'll check it out. Michael Urie is a character I liked from Ugly Betty. The black guy is somebody new. I think his name was Philemon. I don't I butchering his name. Philemon Chambers. Kathy Najimy is in it. Of course, we know her. Luke McFarlane, we know him. Barry Bostwick. And Jennifer Coolidge, who continues to play these quirky characters that they're always entertaining. I mean, that's the thing about that's one of the best parts of the movie to me was that every time she popped up as on Stella, she was hilarious. I'm gonna give everything away because you actually may watch the film, but I will just say that the folks that were in it, I thought they're all fine actors. The acting was fine. There's nothing wrong with the acting at all. The premise is son comes home, they all want him to be together with somebody, and of course that's a theme in regular, and I should say regular, in the straight films of Hollywood films. And and he has a best friend named Nick who's black, and who apparently they've just been friends for years. My problem was I didn't see. I needed a better buildup of them being close. That was the only problem with this film for me. One of the problems with this film was that I didn't. Yeah, I can see the way they set it up. I'm trying to say this. I'm trying to say this in a way that makes sense. The way they talked about it, how everybody kept saying they should be together, they should be together, they should be together. Um, I kind of I'm led to believe they've been through a lot together because when he opens up, he has a boyfriend. This thing happens with him. The other one apparently was out of a relationship. Nick was out of a relationship, so he wasn't in one. I guess he was happily single. I guess I don't know. But in the beginning of the movie, they had them barely touch or anything. Like I thought, like best friends hug and touch and play around with each other, kind of. And there's just kind of like I didn't feel any of that. I was like, okay, so they live together. He has a dog named Emmett, which Nick wrote this book, and I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to see where the best friendship is, where you start to feel like they're more than best friends. I had a hard time believing that at first. Now towards the end of the film, they had some really good setups where you go, I see it. Okay, I can kind of see it. But it was still kind of awkward, especially when they brought in this other guy, Luke McFarlane's character, who, by all accounts, is a dream. It'd be a dream for anybody. I was like, he'd be a dream. So it's like, well, why wouldn't you go with him? Because he's like a big dream guy. I don't know. It seemed a little clunky for me. Now, other than that, everybody's parts, they did great. They did a fine job. Um, it looked beautiful. It was shot beautifully. It was beautiful. Uh, I like that they had the gay black man as somebody who was good and kind, considerate, funny. There was no stereotypical things coming out of him at all that you would expect. It wasn't like extra sassy. It wasn't, there's a lot of things he didn't do. It was like he's gay. He's just middle of the road gay guy. Um, but he was good. He's a handyman. So that was very cool to show that yes, gay men can build things and fix things. I kind of like that. It's all hard because there isn't a lot of these movies out there. There was one I think on Hallmark with oh my god, my guy's name. And from oh my god, my guy's name. Anyway, from like my guy's name, but there was one over there, and that was okay too. But this one I thought I don't know. I just there it was like I said again. I don't watch this kind of movies, so I was told by some other people a lot of these things they put in these movies is just like the straight ones, the obstacles, different things going on. Um, I wish I knew more about the black guy's past. They mentioned his mother passed. He was very close to his mom, so kind of curious. But it was like, it was kind of just mentioned offhandedly, kind of to convince him to come with them back home and pretend to be his boyfriend. But then that was, but then that was dropped really fast too. It was kind of like, well, you're not. They kind of because the mom has fixed him up with this guy James, my name, that lived there. So there was no pretend. So that whole pretending thing never even happened. It was like I think it was gonna be this whole farce where they pretend they're boyfriends and then they fall in love with each other. I thought it was gonna be that kind of thing, but it wasn't at all. So it was yeah. And half the movie they're apart, kind of. It's like the Nick is doing his thing with the family. Peter is finding him. We play by Michael Yuri's playing, doing his thing. Um, but there's some funny lines, some nice little jokes. It's an hour and like 40 minutes or whatever, and it went by fast. I mean, it was fine. But I think in the end, representation matters, and so I always say this about anything in any genre of anything. It's a start. I don't watch Christmas films normally, not really the current ones, but we should have representation of every type of person in these Christmas films. I'm seeing more and more of that happening starting. You're seeing black folks, South Indian, Latino. You're starting to see more in these films. It's almost like saying, people say, why should gays get married? Well, they say, sure, people go, well, we're miserable, you're miserable too. That kind of joke. They always say it's just that representation matters. So why can't there be cheesy Christmas movies with a gay cast? Not gay cast, I can say gay cast, but gay characters. Like, why not? I look at it that way. I go, it's the same as anybody else, right? And we should have more and more of those, just so that people, it's just no big deal, right? More black folks, more everything. Just mix it all up. Christmas is everybody's. Christmas is for everyone. We have to kind of keep that in mind. It's for everybody. So it represents everybody celebrates it, just about. So, I mean, in terms of a couple of religions, of course, Jews don't, a few others don't, Jehovah's Witnesses don't, but for a lot of people, it crosses religions, it crosses color lines, it crosses everything. Christmas is for everybody, so why not have it for everybody? These movies too. So Single All the Way, Netflix, it's there. I don't know how it's doing in the rating. I don't see Netflix trying to figure out how they rate. They have a top 10, but I don't know how their ratings are. I don't know how they count what's a hit. But it's out, easy to find. You'll find it. So it's a start. I'm James Lott Jr. This says I don't normally watch that. I don't normally watch that kind of stuff. But I don't mind. And you can follow me on James Lott Jr. everywhere or JLJ Media everywhere. And this network, subscribe to it. Happy holidays.